friend. Hey, welcome. Today's discussion is how going back to that ex can sabotage you and sabotage your future. And this is why we need not going back to him or her. And I'll get into talking about that. So, have you ever found yourself on those weekend days or those off days? Now, all of a sudden, you're feeling lonely and you want to contact so and so. Or you're in a place, this can be an and or you're in a place where this is who I know, this is all I know. I don't feel like going out there and starting all over again because I don't have the energy for it. And it's one of them things, they got that good, and you just don't know how to cut them strings off. Well, welcome, because we're going to go ahead and get into this, and I'm going to need you to grab a pen and piece of paper and fold your paper in half, because we're going to get those do's and don'ts. We're starting off with the don'ts. We're going to go ahead and get them kicked off in it. So first, friend, before we even start with this first question that I started back there, we are not living in the past. You don't see anything growing in the past. Now, I mean, it may be stuff growing underground, but it's not growing in the past. It's not reverting back to a seed. So, baby, it's time to grow. It's time to mature. It's time to heal. And it's time to get past that ex, because our next is better than the ex. So let's start off with first, I'm going to say A, finding yourself lonely. I'm just going to be real here, friend, because bottom line, you're bored. And when you're bored, that leaves too much time to be idle and to be thinking about all them thoughts like, oh, so-and-so this, and this is how we get the do. Nope. So number one, the first thing that we're going to don't do, this is your don't starting list. Number one, don't be scrolling on social media. Because social media has a way of retriggering those feelings. And then when you're thinking about them, you want to get on their social media page. I just want to see what they doing. No, you don't mind your business. Because the thing in minding your business, we're going to go to the one of what you do want to do. Write this down, friends, so you don't get confused in what I'm saying here. You want to journal. You want to process the breakup, like what happened there and how can you grow from this situation, not necessarily going back, because baby, let me tell you something. If you haven't changed, that person hasn't changed, that situation hasn't changed, the things that needed to grow and mature and change for things to be different and for it to work out, and none of those things have changed or have actually matured, and you got a message that was like do from the Lord that was like, hey, you need to go ahead and work that out. If none of them things occurred, leave it alone. And so you want to allow yourself time to process this and to get those feelings out. Like, baby, let me tell you about the journal. Whatever it is that you want to express to that ex. Honey, once y'all done made up that y'all done got over it and did whatever, you just left it alone. Express those feelings in that journal. You don't need to text that person, well, I was thinking about you and I just wanted to let you know. No, let that journal know that. Put it in a rap song. Draw it. Put it in a painting. Creatively express it, but leave that person be. Leave them be. We go on to the second don't, what we're not doing. Be absorbed by entertainment. Because you know how I love my rom-coms, my romance comedies. And whenever they go through their little breakup thing, they want to sit there and eat ice cream and watch something and cry. Ain't nobody got time for that now. Don't get me wrong. Cry, get it out, do whatever you need to. But after so long, baby, it's time to process this a little bit different, because sitting there in the darkness and crying, we don't have time for that. So, and always looking to be comfortable in not being comfortable, because this is where we're going to the do list. In the do list, number two, educate yourself about love and relationships. Now, it's a lot that we think we know, but when you find out about it, it's a lot you find out, I really didn't know that. So instead of just being in a place like, I know this and I know that. Just be willing to learn. Be willing to learn, because that's part of the growth and part of the enlightenment. So you're not just in there in the darkness and boo-hooing and trying to figure out what's going on and then just revert back to your old self, and then we just right back in the same place with somebody different, which ain't nobody got time for. So we go to number 3, back to the what we not doing side. Stay away from those friends that bring up old stuff. Now, you didn't express to these people, you leaving so-and-so alone. You don't have anything to do with them. Especially if these are friends with that person and both of y'all are like friends, you cut them off. I mean, if they're really true blue friends, temporarily leave them alone, because, sometimes people don't know how to shut up and mind their business. And if you recognize in them and actually being a friend, put them to the side for a little bit. Give them some time. Give yourself some time to heal. Because if they're coming back where you should have, and we talking about past stuff, they can't let it go, and it's like triggering stuff while you're working on the process of healing. Push them to the side, like them vegetables or something that you don't like, and you just move it out the way, because we're not about to eat that. Well, you're not about to eat what they're talking about, okay? We're just going to push them to the side. And now we're going to go to this do side. Be around people who promote truth and love and healing and peace. Now, baby, I'm gonna be 100 with you. When you are around these type of people, especially if you decide that you want to vent or get your problems out, be in expectation to receive the truth and love. Now, you will have friends that are in promotion of your healing and etc. and all that good stuff that I said, but at the same time, you only got so long to be dumping on them friends. I'm telling you. So you only got so long, and so they'll listen to you and they'll hear you out. But especially when it comes time of you having questions, and especially if these are friends who have peeped some things and have tried to tell you, and it's not going to be a thing like, well, I tried to tell you, I told you so. But it's a thing like, okay, let's process this. Let's process this thing together. And let's look at this from a neutral set of eyes and being truthful about what it was that we wanted in this situation, what it was that the red flags that we may not have paid attention to, that the friend may have paid attention to. So let's be around those people if we're at a point to be around people, to be around those people who actually promote healing, who are actually about peace and truth and love and all those good butterfly type things. So we move on to number 4 in the do not list. Please have your pen and piece of paper, because we need to have this list, friend. We need to have this list so you can look back and reflect and just in case you forgot. So finding someone else to scratch that itch, the rebound. This is the no, friend. We hear all the time, in order for you to get over so-and-so is to get up under so-and-so. That's a lie, because all it be is a whole bunch of distractions all up in your mind, because especially if so-and-so was a manipulator or something, now you got 2 things to think about, or however many people you decide to get up under, and it's like, ain't nobody got time to be all in that confusion, because you done already started in confusion with the one person and trying to deal with that. Let that thing breathe. Give it some space. I know it's itching. And this is where we get on to the 4. Discover your interests. So when we're bored, there are a lot of things that come from boredom. I mean, a lot of idle stuff, and you can get yourself in a whole bunch of trouble. And this is why we having this conversation as far as in not calling that ex. Forgive me of the noise that's in the background. But this is why we get into this thing of not calling our ex, because it can come from boredom. And then you sitting there itching, and it's like, And I mean, if it's like a real serious itch, you might want to go see the doctor about that. But at the same time, friend, here it is now. We're finding out about, I just blurted that out and act like it wasn't nothing. But you want to find out who you are. You want to find out more about, because a lot of times we'll get lost in a person, and we no longer know who we are because we've been so caught up in this person's interest. Y'all forgive me, but we've been so caught up in this person's interests is that we no longer know who we are. This noise is an example. It may not be a slight distraction to you, but this is the very thing. See, this is like a pressure. And when we get these pressures, especially if you decide to get up under somebody else, just like this noise is acting like it's going to be a distraction, let me tell you how that other person can be a noise too. And it's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to keep hearing this. So it's like it's all about staying focused. And here it is, we got real life situations happening this. What? Take the wheel, hush them off. We ain't nobody got time for this. And so, in staying focused on what we're talking about, we not having no rebound. We're getting to know who we are and taking our time because now we're looking at this in preparation for that next person. Whatever it is that you envision, now it's time to envision bigger. It's time to get that excitement like, hey, we can start this over again and become brand new because I don't necessarily have to be that person who I was when I was dating so-and-so. But now we're going to be healed. We're going to be love, like real love. So now we're going to this next one, which I'm going to put as B. Don't have the energy to start over. You don't have the energy to start over, baby. No. So we're going to just go ahead and start off with this do not list. And on this do not list, you are not hurry up and hopping in the relationship because you feel like you empty and you don't know who you are without being in a relationship with somebody. This is why we get to know ourselves and our interests. But we also not going to be a hermit either because we feel like we'll never find the love again. Ain't nobody going to love us like a hermit did or hermit. No. And this is where we slide on over to the do. So on this do side, you process who you are alone. Friend, it's not good for us to be serial relationship daters. When we don't have the opportunity to process what we've been through, we're carrying on baggage from one thing to the next. And it's like, you're not allowing yourself an opportunity to really get to know who this person is that you are willing to allow into your life. I mean, this could be somebody of true blue value. And by you not healing, you don't know how to treat them. Or, and us being in so much desperation of love, this can be somebody who's like, you know, I love you. And saying this to everybody. And you just take it as, oh my God, they love me. I'm so special. But you're not allowing them to show you how them words and them actions are not matching. So we go on down to 2. Don't keep telling yourself the same story. If you feel like all you know, all your life was so-and-so and so-and-so, and how could they break up with you, and things will never be the same, stop telling yourself that lie. Where is my other part? You are telling yourself you are loved, and you are open to give and receive love and healing and peace. Friend, you got to make a way for it, because if you keep telling yourself ain't nobody gonna love you, you're gonna keep believing that lie, and you are really not gonna be trying to make yourself lovable. I mean, just think about it. Let it process, let it marinate. Don't you want to be lovable? So let's work on this. It's a work to be had in this loving thing, because we want to know love. We want to know what it is. We want to become it. So we go on to, what number am I at? 3. Don't look at what you could have had. Yeah, you could have had this and you could have had that. You also could have had some things that you couldn't get rid of, and by the grace of God that you ain't got it. So there are reasons why you are not with this ex. Let's go on to the do portion. Where am I at on 3? Looking at the possibilities of starting over, the excitement, and now seeing with new wisdom. So here we are. We done took some time. We're allowing ourselves to process. We're journaling. We're reading about healthy love relationships, about how we go about developing this thing, and first developing this thing within us. Because if we don't know what love is and don't understand how to love, we won't recognize it. And we also won't recognize it when it's not. You know what I'm saying? You know? And so we're going to go ahead to 4, the don't. So, we be in this spot and how you don't have the energy, but then we have that energy to want to force somebody to see our perspective. Well, I love you and you should be with me because I didn't invested all this time. And baby, if it's not mutual, whether you have let this person go or they have let you go, X is an X and X and X and X and X and X and X. So let them be an X. And we move on and prepare for the next. And how do we go about do that? In working on the do's instead of the don'ts. So the do part, where am I? 4, get to know love with God. God is love. God has a way of working through all them relationship issues, all them family issues, all them friendships issues, but it's not in one day. It's not going to be in as soon as you be like, God, I love you. Yes, love me. Now I understand everything. No, because even if we go back to Adam and Eve, and I mean like seriously looking at them, let's just say that what Satan told them was the truth. As far as in them biting this apple, they would know all of the things of God as far as knowledge-wise, right? Do you know how overwhelming that would be? Have you ever gotten some information that just blew your mind? Compared to what they was getting from the fruit or whatever, quote unquote, that thing that blew your mind was that big. And the information in which they could have, possibly received, man, would have been, they whole insides would have just been overwhelmed. Like, have you ever seen the old Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger and his head exploded, or them people head exploded when they was on the other planet and they was sliding down, there wasn't no oxygen. That's just how I'm seeing, because of the burden of that information is so heavy and not even knowing what to do with it. So then we move on down to breaking off that wait. Let me go move back up before we get to that good section. We got to get to 5. 5. We're going to start off with the 5 and the don'ts. Don't think you know everything there is to know about love because of whatever your experiences are. It's bigger than you. Love is bigger than you. And sometimes we be having on these glasses called our own desires and what we be thinking is love, because, it made me feel like this, or, it did that, and so forth and so on. And I know I love this person. And you don't know poo stank about this person. You don't know what this person value. You don't know how this person gonna treat your family, your kids, your mama, your dad, whoever. How they gonna treat you in the future, like how they see life, how they see themselves. Like, do they even know anything about love? Are they even interested in love? Like, a person can talk a good game, but can they show you better than they can tell you? And then can this be consistent? And then can this be enduring? And then can this be over time? And this is why we want to start stuff off in the friendship level and really getting to know a person. Not getting to know a person with our hoo-ha parts, because that's where it's like, I'm attracted to you. But really, are you really? Because if you sat down and talked to this person and found out that everything that came out of their mouth was absolutely disgusting, would you still want them? I mean, somebody might have said, yeah, but it's like, this is why we got to heighten our values, man and sis, because we get seduced by stuff that's all shimmery and shiny, and then we setting ourselves up for a downfall. And this is why we go ahead and move to the 5 of the dudes, which I was getting ready to accidentally skip. My apologies. But being willing to learn and spend time, ask questions, and being vulnerable with God. We get to these places where we feel like we like somebody, and because of how we feel and the impression that they're giving us, we haven't given them time to actually get to know them. We haven't too much paid attention to if their actions and their words were matching, and paid attention to what were their patterns. It's just a thing like, oh, I'm just attracted to you. I like you. I want to tell you everything and give you my all. Take my money. Ain't nobody got time for Joe to see in my house and my clothes. You better pay attention before you sign your life off to this addictive drug, which was probably what they was talking about, because I doubt highly serious they was talking about some woman. But even if you was, still, no. I mean, this better be a woman that you know that's going to hold you down and that love you. And you better be worth holding down. This is why we want to get this unity with God and not just looking at this good situation. So, we're going to go ahead and breaking off that good. Baby, that's a distraction. It feel good at first, but mess your whole everything up. Do you know, for somebody, especially people who are sensitive, because this can be both men and women, and who are super observant. Let's just say you left this person alone, and you found you a boo thing. They swept you off your feet, and you get married, and bam, right when you having issues, here come this ex, and oh, that's just my friend. Ha, you a lie. I can see that energy all the way across the room. I can feel the chemistry and all. Yeah, male and females, men and ladies alike, can pick that up. And they're very observant. I could see if you got you a person that's completely oblivious. But do you want this love of your future to be sabotaged because you can't control that tangling with that ex? So this is why we get to the don'ts. The don't number 1 starts off with, don't be in fantasy land, in la la land, all in, oh, that used to feel so. No, it didn't. It felt good for 5 seconds. It's better out there, trust me. But we not just going out there to find better in the bed. We going to find better in totality, in the whole person. Whole, not a whole, but a whole. We don't want that community. It may have been fun for some time, but ain't got no love for the community stuff, okay? And so we want to, I'm back on we don't want to be in fantasy land. There was a reason that we broke up with this person. So we go to the dude. Now, you got your dude prior. If you had your pen and paper, I dropped my pen earlier, but if you have your pen and piece of paper available already, like we had prepared, because this is about preparation. So if you listened earlier, you already have your pen, piece of paper, and we are already in the practice of the do and don't. So on this number 1 of the do list, make a list of why you would consider going back to this person, or why, like what's in your mind that you thinking is oh so good, and be 100 about it. On that other side, because we got this paper folder, on that other side, I'm going to need you to put why you left in the first place. Then what were your reasons of leaving? Like, this is all kind of like the same thing. Because sometimes it takes for us to actually look at physically in front of our face what was going on to help us get out of la la land. Because sometimes we'll forget about how so-and-so lied, or how so-and-so cheated, or how so-and-so was going through your phone, or how so-and-so didn't trust you. But then you remember all them other good feelings where it's like, it really don't balance out. Because is it worth the drama? I mean, if that's what you like, but you get to a point you get too old for that, baby. And then when it be kids and stuff involved, it's like, that gets a little tiring. So we got the peak. It's time to peak at these things, friends. It's time to peak. Bring it to the top. Get it up. Pop that pimple. That sounded like a Luke song. But if you popping that thing, you pop it for somebody that you love and who is in agreement and loving you and has gotten in alignment and want to seek this love thing with you. Not just for everybody and anybody. And even if this is what you're doing for a job, that's all you doing is popping. That's it. You don't sell it. You get to know the Lord. I love y'all. So, 2, on the don'ts. We are not watching, listening, reading anything that's going to turn that temperature up. You got this where self-awareness comes in, friends. Self-awareness is self-love. Anytime it's making you go right back to La La Land, make you thinking about some stuff, make you want to call somebody, anybody. No. So this is where we go to the do, because we got to redirect that energy, friend. Put your idle mind in your hands to work towards your purpose. Now, friend, if you feel like you're not in shape, use that energy to go work out. Use that energy to do something creative. Use that energy, boy, when that pressure get to coming on you. Use that energy to ask God, like, Lord, help me, because I don't want to call so-and-so. Don't wait until you at so-and-so house ringing the doorbell. Like, what am I doing, Lord? Help me, Lord. No. When that pressure started coming on you, the minute you want to start responding to so-and-so. Now, first of all, I'm going to get to that for the next one, because I just glimpsed that's the next one. The minute you get to wanting to respond to so-and-so and you hear yourself saying, well, you know, they just want to talk. Here we get to that's what I'm on the good side, is the putting your hands and stuff to work for your purpose. So this is where we go to the 3 on the bad side. Now hear me out, friend. You are not making room for them. When I mean by you are not making room for them, in the past video way back then, this whole ex situation is basically all about putting you to bed. Baby, we putting them to bed. Block, erase, delete. Put them to sleep. They cannot contact you. There is no access to you. You done blocked them, deleted them, erased them all off your phone, off of social media, your email, whatever. There is no contact to you, none whatsoever. None. You ain't even trying to get them to, I miss you, right? No. Because if they calling you from somebody else's phone, why are you answering? They can leave a message and then you ain't that nosy. You ain't nosy. You working on your purpose. You're working on your purpose. And so and on a do side, what we doing is that we setting our boundaries, and we standing on them bad boys like we standing on business. So if you leaving a person alone, make up in your mind you leaving them alone. I mean, they may want to talk or whatever. Man, let some time pass where you are healed, where even if you are feeling that heated moment, you know how to tell yourself no. And you're not putting yourself in a place where it's easy for you to say yes. So we're being aware of this thing. They want to talk to you. If you feel in some type of way, nope, you don't need to talk to them. You don't even need to have them, allow for them to have access to you, period. This ain't a situation where you're ghosting a person or nothing. Y'all had a breakup. Y'all, okay, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Okay, cool. Wash your hands of it and go process it and start working on yourself and the love that you are actually seeking. And so, how God plays a role in this whole thing is relationship. So many people are looking at the outer representation of what people feel that they are saying that God or the Bible is because of a person holding up a Bible or whatever it is they saying. But we all know they lies. We are all in agreement with this. God's people, the Satanists, the witches, the whoever, we all know them people out there lying. So this is where we get into seeking the truth. And in seeking this truth, God loves us. And sometimes we misinterpret that love because we haven't quite adjusted our ear in hearing when he answers us. So this is why we want to spend intimate time with God, get into reading his word and ask him questions about what he says. Friend, when you see the God don't lie, and when he gets to talking to you, boy, when them pressures get to coming, because he's an ever-present help whenever you need him. So here it is, this pressure is coming. Your ex, boy, they sending you pictures and showing you the tatas or whatever, sending the videos or whatever. And you're still supposed to put them to bed. Block, erase, delete. No access to you. But let's just say they get access to you. They see you. You see them and they looking good and smelling all fine and all that good stuff. This is where prayer comes in. Because the longer that we entertain those thoughts, this is how we sabotage ourselves by focusing on our own desires. But once we actually get in the place of getting to know love and find out what the Lord desires for us, because it's much bigger than what we want for ourselves. Find out our desires are so temporary because you 1 minute you like the way that tastes and the next minute it's like, oh, that tastes nasty. But this is what's going to help us be consistent. This is what's going to help us become love and not just be in a place where we're so desperate for love and being misused by people who act like they love us. Because when we actually know what love is, we'll be it. And it won't just be an act. And then also recognize it. And so when our desires get aligned with God, we had this conversation, we had this intimacies. Again, like I was saying, when them pressures show up, instead of us going the way and feeling like I'm so weak I can't, they have a hold on me, Satan, you a lie. And this is where we come in and look at the word of God and call on him and call and ask him for help. We keep pushing and praying until something happens. And so in the song, in my mentor, push, P-U-S-H, pray until something happens. And so we're working on our prayer life, we're working on our listening life, so we can better listen to what God is telling us, so we know how to move on these things. So instead of allowing our ex to sabotage our future, the growth of us, let's go ahead and grow in love. Let's get to know God. Let's tell that ex no, and let's move forward and get in this word, get to know this wisdom, and see this whole love game a totally different way, because now we're looking through the eyes of wisdom. I love you. God loves you even more. Experience it. This is a relationship experience. You ain't got to go nowhere. Even wherever you at, he right there. I love you, like I said. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.